to another live stream where we'll be reacting to Tony Parsons, a video called "This Is Simple and Natural." So we'll begin that in a few minutes. Um, so do so while we get people on. So it's good to see you all. I'll show that. Okay, so I'll be reacting to this video of Tony Parsons, which I came across maybe a month ago. I looked at it and I was like, I want to talk about it and discuss it. And then what happened was I delayed it. Now it's a 1 hour, 25-minute video. I don't think I'm going to go through it all. I'm probably going to break it up in pieces and then just see where the interesting stuff appears from. So I don't anticipate that I have the patience to watch an hour and 25 minutes of someone saying the same thing again and again, that there's nothing apparently happening, nobody here, blah, 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 type of thing. So this is the latest video that Tony Parsons has on his video. I wanted to use something really like kind of as recent as possible. But this seems to be the one that I've come across. It seems that this was taken on June 25th. Let me just check that I have not misunderstood. And it was uploaded on July 2nd. So it's been a month since anything has been uploaded on his channel, which for me may be slightly concerning. He tends to, I thought he would have more, but the caveat is that his content, his comments are turned off. As with most of these pseudo-non-dualists, they tend to kind of have their comments turned off. So yeah, let's get started with this, and we'll see how it goes. Do write your comments in, give your views. There's this is much of a conversation, so if you have anything that you want to say, you can put it in the chat. If there's anything you want to add, put it in the chat. Like the video, and we'll get down to watching this. Let me upload it. Hey, hey, Martin. Okay, nothing urgent. Right, here we go. We can see it. Our friend Tony Parsons. So here we go. I'm looking forward to hearing from the wise man, full of wisdom, the godfather of pseudo-non-duality, Tony Parsons. Oh, this is simple and natural.
Okay.
Oh,
I would like to say that what is sought, what we look for, is something that's very simple and natural. It's the empty fullness. It can't be understood, can't be known. And so for the seeking energy, it's a mystery. And the seeking energy doesn't like a mystery, so it wants to try and...
Yeah, the seeking energy does not like a mystery. I think that's bull. I personally, I'm a seeker, and I kind of like mysteries. It's not that I have to know everything. Sometimes the mystery of something is just as appealing as knowing it. So obviously Tony probably has never done a day of seeking in his life, or if he has done any seeking, it obviously he hasn't found it fulfilling. But yeah, here we go. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he was with Osho for a few years. I don't know if that's true, but if he was, Osho would not be happy with this guy, with what he's saying. So, um, who is we and who is seeking? Thought he said there is nobody home. Well, I thought that. I thought he said that, but I'm not sure. Um, all he's saying, this is natural and simple.
Understand or work out what is being talked about, so
Okay.
that it can turn it into a something that it can know. There are
So I've understood ego advaita a bit more recently because someone explained it to me on a comment. Basically, they don't even believe in consciousness or awareness. So this guy obviously is saying that we make awareness into something. Well, no, not really. We're saying that awareness is the only thing. Is we don't make it into something. You can't make it into something. What is is. So although we may utilize the same language, in some regard, it's he totally does not understand consciousness studies. He doesn't understand Advaita Vedanta. He doesn't understand even just non-duality, even in a Buddhist sense. Just straight off the bat, I know that because I've seen these videos many years ago when I was seeking back in 2010. I came across some of his videos, and if I'm honest, they never did appeal to me. I didn't find them engaging. I didn't find them interesting. I felt someone who's telling me that there's nothing to seek here, as much as that would be a nice answer to have when you're going through, when listening to so many people, you're trying to find the answers. Hearing him in that type of mentality when you're searching for something, it's nice and appealing. But I found that when I analyzed what he said, it didn't it didn't have a solid foundation. It still would not fulfill me. So I had a personal feeling that this type of philosophy wasn't going to work for me. Uh, and we'll see why. He's already within the first 30 seconds, 39 seconds, he's come out with a spiel about there's no seeking and all this. And there's nothing that there is to seek, there's nothing to know, and it's bad if you try to know something. Again, I don't believe that's right.
many, well, quite a few people
Oh,
communicating this in different ways and
oh
feeding
God.
the hunger of the seeking mind. And some of the explanations that are now being the people are talking about are quite complicated, and they're also insisting, but they're at the same time insisting that nothing can be understood, which is, of course, another understanding. But there are many convoluted and complicated explanations about the nature of, let's call it, non-duality.
I love that. Let's call it non-duality, as if it's like something that he's not teaching. Um, yeah. So again, I don't know whether this is a dig at people like us who do the traditional non-duality kind of spiel, or whether he's against some of the people that are following his type of talk of, um, you know, the same type of messaging. So I do wonder whether that is what he's kind of talking about, because in a way they are taking away his business, if you think about it, and they're taking away some of the seekers, maybe, or maybe some of the seekers who are probably loyal to him are now kind of pseudo non-duality teacher hopping. So it might be that that is what is happening, and that's what he's not happy about.
And the sense is that somewhere they're trying to convince people that there's something about there's a strange idea that the non-duality has many aspects which have to be comprehended.
Okay. Um, Non-duality does have many aspects, even though the understanding is of one. But to understand the one, many concepts may be used to help one understand the one. There's nothing wrong with that, Tony. You're going to use a plethora of words to explain that there is no teaching. So if you really feel that there's nothing to teach, you would be truly silent. Your fraud comes out the moment you speak. So, in my opinion, this is why I don't take any of these people seriously, because if they really claim that they believe in their teaching, if they really are practitioners of what they're saying, they would not be uploading a YouTube video. They would not be holding meetings. There is no reason for them. They would not be writing a book. Obviously, they feel that some words can explain it. And what we say in traditional Advaita is yes, you can utilize words to explain or express something that is inexpressible, or to at least point to that. That's what we say. We don't say that the words are actually it. We say that the words point to it. So there's a slight difference. And this is where Tony probably, his mind, he couldn't comprehend it. His intellect couldn't comprehend it, which I do sense from him. And by the way, this is like right now he's a bit more slower, but trust me, it's not much of a major difference from what I saw 10, 12, 13 years ago.
But the problem with all of that is that it generates.
Oh no, book. I hope he didn't write any unless it's a fiction and or parody. No, he did write a book. It's called The Open Secret. Yeah, he's written a book. So yeah, he's written a book.
It's an idea in the seeker that if they can go on understanding or not understanding something, or go on listening to all sorts of concepts and ideas, somehow this generates a hope in them that something will come out of listening to all those ideas and putting all those suggestions and recommendations together. It creates a sense of hope, that sort of communication. There's nothing right or wrong with that. This is the beloved. This is nothing arising in this form, arising in this sort of communication. So there's nothing right or wrong with it. But of course, the energy of intention, which is directed at the seeking mind, does generate a sense of hope.
So I guess, as you comment, Martin, I don't like, in a way, I kind of agreed with what he said. Like, I like the fact that he said there's nothing right or wrong about it, but I guess for him, he doesn't like the word hope. So I'm assuming that he feels that spiritual teachings give people hope. And I can see that hope can turn into blind faith, but just say that you don't agree with blind faith rather than hope. If anything, the reason why you do these videos is so you hope that people would understand your message. So hope is in everything, even in this guy's explanation of things. So hope is necessary. Without hope, we will not be even attempting to even be spiritual or to give any teaching. So he obviously does have hope, regardless of what he's saying here.
Nothing is without hope. Nothing doesn't have anything to offer. Nothing is simply
nothing
coming out of and can only illuminate the fact that all there is nothing apparently happening. So we come back, after all these conversations we're going to have, we come back to something very simple and ordinary, which is to do with energy, which is to do with a freedom and an energy which is boundless. And no, it doesn't matter what we talk about or what we don't talk about. The apparent awakening that can come out of that energy has nothing to do with anybody and has nothing to do with words. So if somebody would like to start.
That was a gobbledygook of a sentence. I didn't really. So, my issue with this is it goes here, there, and I'm not able to kind of keep track with what he's saying. And I feel bad for him that he's so confused about his own messaging and what he's trying to communicate. What communication is he on about? What is he communicating? What is the message? Pointless beyond imagination. Same bollocks over and over again, like a broken record. Yeah, it really is. It really is like a broken record. And trust me, this is probably the only Tony Parsons video you need to watch. You don't need to watch anything more than this. You don't need to see anything more. This is everything you need, in my opinion.
Start off by asking something, we can go on from there.
Okay, let's see. He's going to talk to someone. So this is going to be interesting.
Okay, so we've got open circle, first of all. Would you like to unmute yourself? And I can add you to the screen. Can everybody see the two screens? If Tony, can you see the... Oh. You can all see the... Good, jolly good. Well done. That's fantastic. Yep, off you go.
Hi, Tony.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm good too.
Does anyone know this open circle guy? Because I assume that there must be it must be famous of some sort, because his name is Open Circle, so he must have some channel. I'll have to search for him afterwards. But yeah, let's see what his conversation with Tony's going to be like.
You look good.
Oh. Yeah, you look good too. Tony,
how can he look good when there's nothing there? Like, come on. Stick with your message. Don't give him hope.
On the other side, in you, is there no awareness, or there is no one who is aware?
Well, there is no one. The communication that comes out of nothing is that there is no one, and there's nothing apparently happening. That's the beginning and end of it. So there's no...
So nothing is apparently happening. Do we understand? Nothing apparently is happening. Yeah, we're watching this whole bloody YouTube video. And on top of that, he's uploaded a whole video and done a Zoom meeting, but nothing apparently is happening.
No story. There's no
story.
There's nothing continuing. There's nothing that ever happened. All there is the singular immediacy of this. That's all there is. But it'll never be understood. It's, as I said in the beginning, this is essentially something that's energetic. So a contracted sense of energy suddenly is no longer contracted, and or seems to suddenly collapse, let's say.
So what is this energy that they talk about? Because if it's nothing, then how can it be energy? Energy is something. So even in that there's a lack of substance, and a lack of foundation there. Why? Like, what do they mean by energetic happening? Like, I don't understand that word. That is fluff, according to me. Oh, so annoying. It is fluff. And when you say you don't understand anything, then ego Vitins would tell you that's impossible to understand it. But no, I mean, okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they would say that. But my thing is, you've got to understand something. I mean, how else do you get it? It's got to happen intellectually. Like, okay, let me put it this way. I intellectually understand everything Tony Parsons says. What I'm saying is it's not matching with my experience. Maybe that is a better way for me to explain it, so they don't jump on the bandwagon and say, don't attack our granddad, Tony Parsons. So it's, like I said, I intellectually understand. I just don't experientially follow it. It doesn't follow my experience. You cannot say that nothing ever happens, or nothing is happening, or nothing apparently happens, and then say this is energetically happening. It's an energetic thing. What is energy then? Energy must be made of something. It must have some sort of quality. In fact, by calling it energy is a quality and an attribute and is something. So yeah, they go and make their mind up. If it's not awareness and it's energy, then what's the like? Explain the difference. And this is what he doesn't do, I think, because the guy asked about awareness. So let's see. I'm going to let Tony fully answer, but if he doesn't, remind me in the chat if I don't mention it. But he doesn't explain that how energy and awareness are different.
Of course, when it collapses, it's realised it was never there to collapse. But in some way or other, boundless energy just arises.
When it collapses, it realizes it was never there to collapse. Okay, that makes complete sense. A better way to explain it would be is that when you let go of the concept or concepts, then you realize that awareness was always ever present. Isn't that just a much simpler way of explaining it without going to this gobbledygook of wordplay? Like, I've literally expressed what we expressed in Advaita Vedanta in what he was just trying to say. But he said it in such a weird way. I don't see, I don't understand how people can understand this. Also, their whole message is inconveniently inconsistent. They apply it as they please, so it's like a verbal diarrhea. It is verbal diarrhea. It's not like verbal diarrhea. It absolutely is verbal diarrhea. It makes no sense whatsoever. Poor Tony. He's been living with this for many years. I mean, does he wake up in the morning and then say, and when he's brushing his teeth, does he say nothing is apparently happening or thinks that? Or does he just say that it's energetically brushing the teeth? Like, I wonder how they apply it to their day-to-day life. Yeah. Like, for example, in traditional Advaita, we will say we perceive Nirguna Brahman in everything as the ground of existence. So even in our brushing of our teeth, we devote it to Nirguna Brahman, and we can happily say that awareness is watching this body brush the teeth. But they don't even say that. I wonder what they say.
And there was nothing left. There's no one that knows that energy.
Yeah.
There's no one that recognises that anything that has happened, all there is what's happening.
But there is a sense of, is there a sense of awareness? Even there is no one aware.
No, there can't be awareness because awareness requires two. There has to be an awareness.
My God, you're totally wrong. Awareness does not require two. It does not require two. Awareness is one. And so this is where he misunderstands. So I'm glad the person felt his question wasn't answered. But yeah, not a good answer, in my opinion. And that's where the whole of this philosophy of ego Advaita fails, is just based on this one thing, that they do not believe in awareness or consciousness.
Requires something for it to be aware of. So 1, 2.
No. That's not the understanding of awareness. Awareness is the understanding that this whole existence is ultimately unreal. Now, while we're in the body, it is kind of, experientially two things, the appearance of two, but actually awareness is prior to everything. So, yeah, Tony, you're not getting it. Apparently, teeth are being apparently brushed by no one. That's exactly what they're saying, really. But yeah, not a good answer.
This awareness only arises in dualism and arises at a very early age when contracted energy suddenly enters a tiny child's body and they become aware of that. That first awareness arises at that point when the contracted energy arises. So contraction equals awareness, equals the sense of identity that arises out of that awareness. And that maintains a sense of identity and separation.
So since this contraction collapsed, the awareness
There is no
not there.
awareness. There isn't anything. There's only the awareness can only function all the time. It has something for it to be inside that it can be aware of, and this is how the dualism arises. So the individual becomes aware of sitting on a seat. So you have two things: the individual, well, the awareness of one of sitting on a seat. Two. This is how separation is generated and maintained.
Well, for him to even exist on the planet, there is an element of separation. There has to be a multiplicity of two. But the whole Advaita Vedanta teaching is that although it looks like two or many, it's actually made from the one. So, and the one thing that is the same is awareness. That's the understanding. Now, what he's just said, I understand. And to be honest, I will give him credit that he's given the best explanation so far to explain why he doesn't think awareness is what he's talking about. Out of every pseudo-non-dual teacher, he's probably given the best, simplest way of explaining it. But it's still not, it doesn't hold ground. It doesn't open yourself to dualism. It just shows the multiplicity in the oneness is the ultimate understanding of Advaita Vedanta. So, and yeah, and a very good question. Why would contraction equal awareness? I guess what he's trying to say is that when someone becomes self-aware, what he must mean is that, so yeah, what is actually contraction? What is contracting? So he doesn't explain that. And if the contraction equals awareness, why is that then? Then what is expanding? So yeah, not really a good explanation. Hopefully, Open Circle, he may ask that question.
Because I remember saying before, even the contraction may appear.
Well, thereafter, when there is no one, anything can appear, but it doesn't appear for anyone anymore. And so when contraction arises in the apparent happening or in the body, which is only another apparent thing happening, then that is what's happening. But there isn't anything any longer taking delivery of that, and there isn't anything any longer concerned about what happens, what is happening. All there is what's happening, including contraction, boundlessness, unconditional love, whatever you like.
Well, no, you can't just call it that. You can't just say, "Oh, it's boundless love and boundless awareness," whatever the words he used. You can't just use that and then say there's no awareness. Well, what is aware that there's unconditional love? What is aware that there's boundlessness? What is aware that there's contraction? He doesn't answer this question, and in fact, his whole philosophy falls away in that one question. And he does a classic spiel of that every pseudo non-dualist does of nothing is happening to nobody is experiencing anything, nothing is happening to anyone, all this nonsense.
Even awareness.
Oh yeah, awareness can happen, but it doesn't happen for anybody anymore because there isn't anybody to be aware. In the apparent world, apparent awareness is happening.
Okay.
And it's only apparent, it's not real. The great illusion is that there is something that is real, called a person, or the world, or the story, or free will and choice, or awareness.
Nah, Tony, you totally don't get it. You can't equate awareness with free will and choice. And those two don't really match. He really needs to. I don't know. Has he ever been invited to the Science and Non-Duality conference? I don't anticipate he would be, because this would. I do wonder how he would cope with a lot of the traditional non-dual teachers. But yeah, that was a really bad answer. I hope Open Circle will question a bit more. Seems like a very inquisitive guy, so I'm interested to see what he's gonna respond. Hey Dimitri, hope you're doing well.
How do you say when Tony goes to sleep? Okay, there is awareness, and let's say you
No,
sleep
there
every
isn't
night.
anything. No, there isn't anything. There isn't a Tony that goes to sleep.
Well, Tony doesn't go to sleep. Tony should be having lots of bags under his eyes if Tony didn't go to sleep. Of course, Tony, you go to sleep. Oh, he's now going to say nobody falls asleep. Watch, I can guarantee it.
Sleep, and you could say it's the body of Tony Parsons.
Then it's fine to say Tony goes to sleep. If the body called Tony Parsons is going to sleep, then it's okay saying Tony Parsons goes to sleep, or I go to sleep. Nothing wrong with that. What does it mean? If nothing is real, then it flips to everything being exactly. This is why just Martin, their philosophy doesn't stand, because the moment you say nothing is real, then you have to kind of, as a natural progression in the philosophy, say everything is real, and everything is based from that reality. But they don't understand. They don't have a full circle of thought. But yet, I want to go back to that.
A Tony that goes to sleep,
No,
and there
Tony.
isn't a Tony that is awake.
Yeah.
You're not talking to. You're not talking to anyone. You're talking to nothing. But that is also not talking to nothing, except that may somehow believe or feel that it is a person talking to you. Yes.
So how do you differentiate when you are awake, when you are going to sleep? What happens physiologically?
I don't. There is no one. See, you're always coming back to this idea that how do I differentiate? I don't differentiate. The body goes up, lies on the bed, and goes to sleep. That's what's happening. There isn't somebody differentiating, because then there would have to be awareness. There's awakeness and the sleepness. They are apparently happening.
Okay, I'm talking about myself. When I go to bed, after a while, I lose awareness, and in the morning, the awareness comes back.
Well, you think that the way you're talking, you think you are awareness. You go to sleep and lose awareness. So, are you actually saying that the only time that you feel that anything is really happening to you is when you're awake and when you're aware? So, for you, it seems to me that your existence is entirely dependent on you being aware, and that's the great illusion.
No, what I'm saying is, what goes and comes back is awareness.
Well, for you, that's your experience.
That's my experience. And for you, it's not there.
No, it isn't there now. It isn't there when this goes to bed, and it isn't there in sleep. It's just there is only what is.
Oh, I kind of feel, yeah, he made zero sense, and I have a feeling that Open Circle kind of really just showed he started to confuse Tony with the spiel that he's giving.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Tony. I'll come back again.
Thank you.
He does come on again.
Ryan, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Tony.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Did you just see what happened to his eyes then?
Ryan, would you like to unmute yourself?
Hi, Tony.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Where's it going?
All right.
He's all right. There's no one there to be all right. I mean, come on, Tony, keep up with your bloody philosophy. I should not be telling you what you should be answering.
How's it going with you?
Yeah, good. How has your life, so like getting into the semantics of it, just Tony Parsons, how has your lifestyle changed or stayed the same from before there was seeking and then after that dropped away? Like what do you like to do in your day?
Well, if you were listening to what was just said just now, there isn't anyone. There's only what's happening.
Yeah. Dimitri, the inner reptilian, showed up. If David Icke was watching this, you know what David Icke will be saying.
Well, if you were listening to what was just said just now, there isn't any.
If you were listening, but there's nobody there to be listening, so if you were listening, there's apparently nobody that should be listening, that there's nobody here. Come on.
Anyone. There's only what's happening. And there can be preferences that arise in that, but they aren't anybody's preferences. They're built into the DNA before birth, and they carry on and arise in the body.
What is aware that it happens in the DNA? What is aware about that? How do you know that, Tony? If it's energetically happening, how do you know this?
But there isn't anybody in the body that's experiencing them. There's
nobody in the body experiencing this. I don't understand that type of wording. It makes no sense whatsoever. This is not non-duality. This is something totally different.
Experience anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Poor Ryan.
But for example.
Yeah, Ryan. Come on, try and think. Tony thinks he's got a gotcha moment.
That's okay. I'll come back.
Yeah, he'll come back. Watch. Tony's like, gotcha.
Okay,
gotcha, mate.
Kath, do put your video on if you'd like to, but otherwise just unmute yourself.
I think Tony's really tired.
Oh, yes. Hi, Tony.
Hiya.
Good to see you. You look great.
Thank you.
Good to see you. You know, I was thinking about, a lot of the non-duality speakers right now. There's a few of them. And
yeah, there's a few of them. You got a bit of competition, Tony. You might want to sort this out. Yep, he's definitely irritable. I think that's why Ryan hesitated. I have a feeling that he didn't think that Tony wanted to listen to his questions, but I think he'll come back. But I'm interested in what Kathy's going to say, because she said non-duality speaker. So I wonder who she's on about. Yeah.
They're doing a lot of speaking.
Yes.
Yes, I was referring to that at the beginning. Saying there's a lot of all sorts of explanation. There's a lot of explanation going on at the moment, which is inevitable with something that is still a mystery. For the seeker, there's still a mystery, and so explanation arises to try and help them understand that. But all of that is dualism.
Wow. Okay. Like, this is where I'm actually going to be like pissed off with him, because you created that problem. The very problem that he's talking about in non-duality speakers, he created them. And by saying that they're in dualism is a complete and utter farce from him, because he created it. What he's scared of now is that the message that was actually before really unique to him is now being exploded everywhere thanks to Emerson, who in like 2 videos before has a conversation with Emerson, and they're both really nice buddies. So he's obviously really annoyed that these other non-dual speakers, I guess people like Ariana, Anna Brown, Jim, even Jim Newman, I'm assuming for him is annoying. Emerson, Ken, so many that we've even looked at. He's probably really annoyed that they're set up shop and they're doing non-duality meetings. People are paying them. But he's not annoyed that they're teaching the wrong thing, because there's no difference in their message and his message. So philosophically, there's no difference in what they're saying, as much as he's claiming that there is. He's just disturbed about the business element. And I know that for certain, because why else would you be pissed at someone that is like you making a book out of this apparent no teaching? And he shouldn't be annoyed, because nothing apparently is happening and there's no story. So why is he getting annoyed? You know? Tony represents the get off my lawn school of pseudo-nonduality. He really is. He really is. Oh, Tony.
There isn't anything to explain. So the whole structure of trying to explain this in order for it to be understood is an intentional energy which only arises in dualism.
So is what he doing? So what is Tony doing? Is he admitting it that he is also doing dualism? Because I don't think he's saying that he is. Question to be asked. Question I wonder. Tony, please answer this. I'm sure you'll one day watch it. If not, everyone please spam him and tell him to watch this video. But if he's talking in these meetings, is he not taking part in dualism? I'll bring the question back at you, Tony. The mirror is put back on you. Who wants to write a book if there is no Tony? Exactly. Who wants to do a video or a meeting if there's no Tony? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And Kathy, please put your camera down.
Very, as far as I'm concerned, there are there's a hand.
As the camera goes down on Kathy, Tony's getting closer to the screen as if he wants to see the whole of Kathy's face.
I can tell you there's very, very few people who speak from no thing and don't try and communicate any sort of understanding.
That's probably Jim then.
That's very rare, but there are an awful lot of people out there who are giving ideas and recommendations about you and what can be done, and they promote a sort of hope that in some way or other, if you can understand the many ongoing explanations about what people think is non-duality, then that will go on forever, because it's feeding the seeking mind.
Yeah. Thank you.
And he doesn't think he's feeding the seeking mind? I don't know what world he's living in. Yeah, but exactly, there's nothing wrong with dualism. But for Tony, there's everything wrong with dualism.
I didn't understand that.
Don't worry, Kathy.
Thank you.
Don't worry. It's okay.
Wow.
Tony,
Okay.
have a glass of water, Tony.
So Rima, would you like to
okay,
unmute yourself?
So before I carry on, Rima, I saw her in a Rupert Spira meeting, and she asked him a question there as well. So she's non-dual teacher hopping. So in my opinion, I think she's quite confused, or she doesn't know what she's after.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Rima.
Thank you so much for what a wonderful gift you're giving to all of us.
No, I'm not.
By holding these.
I don't give anything at all. There is no one. This is what's happening.
Thank you. So great happenings on this Saturday morning here in California. My question is, how do I get to where you are?
Okay, so there are two things there. I'm not anywhere. I am nothing and everything, or there is only nothing and everything. And the you that you think is you will never get there because it isn't. It's there already. There is nowhere to get to because
you will never get there because you're already there. So okay. This is important because this shows how he creates that power dynamic. By saying this, he's putting the person in their place that is below him. They should be seeking from him. Because he's already said that he's established that he's nothing and everything, nowhere and everywhere. He's already established that. He did that first thing. Then the second thing was by saying that you think there is somewhere to go, but really you're already there. That type of nonsense he was trying to imply. By doing that, he's belittling that person automatically. It's a good power game. And in my opinion, some people may turn around and say, oh, very humble of him. No, that's pseudo humility as well. That's as they call it, humble bragging. So this is why I find language is very important when it comes to spirituality. Why I say language is important, because of things like this, like what he just said. You can catch people out by these little things. And mind you, if somebody, like, for example, I may say something like that, and you guys can hold me accountable, and I can then respond and either reject what I said previously and say I was wrong and admit that I was wrong, or I can explain what I meant. But someone like him will not do that, because to do that means that he would have to fall off a pedestal, and he's already put himself on a pedestal. So, yeah. See, the problem is that everyone doing this stuff is looking for a thing to do. What happens in the pseudo community is that people start doing the lingo that they speak. Exactly. So once they speak the lingo, they can think they're a teacher. It literally, and like I said, this is an easy graft. Sorry, an easy grift to do. You speak this, you'll make money for sure. Because you're telling people that by speaking the same way, they have reached the place that they need to go to. So they feel they're complete. So in that regard, they will always be in good business until the mind kicks in, which inevitably will happen. Zero gift given. I know, Rima, what are you saying? You went from Rupert to this guy? What's wrong with you?
the I is also an expression of no thing. It's just in that form of separation it is arising. But the idea of getting from one place to another is part of the dualistic dream. It will never happen because there isn't a place to go from one place to another. All there is nothing apparently happening. There aren't any places.
So how do I forego and
No, you don't. There's no how. That's the other thing that's going on these days. A lot of how-tos are being commented or communicated. There is no how. All there is what is. It's totally only that. The singular immediacy of what is. And you are that.
So then what's he getting annoyed with people communicating whatever message they're giving? Why is he getting annoyed about it? Like, if there's nothing apparently happening.
What's going on there is the singular immediacy of what is, asking how it can find the singular immediacy of what is.
That's not funny. That's just dumb shit.
It is there when, at least when I'm sitting in silence or meditating. However, as soon as you open your eyes or hear the words, there comes the identity asking these questions.
I didn't hear that last part. I don't understand.
So when, for instance,
I understood that.
I will still use the word I am meditating. When the I disappears, there are moments, right, when it's happening. Everything is happening.
Well, you think it's happening. I don't know what that is because you're experiencing it. So I have no idea. But when there isn't anything that happens, the problem for the seeker is that it's always looking for something to happen. It's always looking for a new experience. And so it runs from one experience to another.
That is not what she was saying. That is not what she was saying. Oh my God. He has basically just put a judgment on the person. That is not what she was saying. Oh man. How can this guy have been in doing this for so many years and people not see the dumb responses he's giving? Like, how can they still believe him? It's just what it's why to feel. He totally misunderstood her, and then so there's nobody home. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's nobody listening.
To another. And if there's an experience that he really likes, he wants to hold on to that, but of course it can't because life is moving around all over the place. So your seeking for this is completely and utterly and wonderfully futile. It can't be found because it's never been lost. It's all there is.
And how to get rid of it, though?
No, you can't. That's another form of seeking. How do I get rid of me or whatever? There is no me to get rid of. Some commentators say, it is seen that there's no me. That's often used as a frame. It amazes me that they use it because who would it be that would see that there is no me? This is about death.
Okay, in the same regard, who is saying that there is just this? Like, come on, Tony. Can you not see the hypocrisy in what you're saying? Oh my God, this is real bad. I mean, now I see why pseudo-non-duality is the dumbest thing on the planet. The dumbest thing on the planet. And one, the person who's asking the question, you're not even answering a question, which is why you're not a suitable teacher. And in my opinion, a teacher should be able to help you and should be able to tell you and guide you on what to do. Like, answer the question that she's asking. She's not. He just gave a whole bunch of gobbledygook. This is not good. I mean, I feel really bad because I think people look for answers and they're not getting any, and I feel bad about that. Spiritual people want answers, and yeah, even though I understand there is nobody seeking, I get it. I understand it. At the end, you have to let go of the seeking. I get all those things. I understand it intellectually, but when there is someone asking for your help, telling them that answer is not good and it's not going to last long. They may get a moment where they may feel free for a few moments, maybe a few years, but guess what's going to come knocking on the door saying, you weren't really free. I trapped you with another thought that you thought there was no seeking. So when someone is not ready for an answer, you don't take them there. You see where they're at and then you go accordingly. That has been the tradition of, which is why I'm so against. Well, okay, let me put it this way. With people like Tony Parsons, because they're a small group, they can help people individually. Someone like Sadhguru, you can say, or Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji, they have a mass following. So it's really hard for them to talk to people individually. But for someone like him, he should be able to navigate where people are and help them accordingly. But because he's stuck on this message of there's nobody here, there's no story, there's no seeking, you know, when you give that as your baseline, people will never be truly transformed. They would just get one new knowledge that is overwriting the previous knowledge that they had. It's not eradicating or transcending us from knowledge to intelligence or wisdom. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But poor Rima. I mean, I was kind of dissing her earlier because she's like going from one guru to another, from going to Rupert to Tony. But I think what Rima needs to do is just stay with one teacher and fully practice, and go to a teacher that can give you an answer. Rupert gave her a decent answer from what I remember, and I don't know why she's doing this.
This is about the death of that which you think you are, and the sudden evacuation of any sense of separation.
Oh gosh, here we go. Rima, don't accept it.
Immense gratitude, Tony. Thank you.
It's not clear. I know, Rima, you're confused. I can tell.
Okay, Sylvia, would you like to unmute yourself and ask?
Yeah, Tony ain't happy. You can see in his eyes, he's not very happy with the questions so far. It seems like everyone is trying to catch him out. In sports, the best coaches are the players who struggle to be good, not the players from whom the game comes easy. The pseudos all got it too easily, so they suck at teaching. That's very true. That's very true. They really do.
Ask your question.
Ask your question.
You've got yourself muted, Sylvia. You need to unmute it.
There's nobody unmuting.
So
Come
it's
on.
unmuted.
Yes, now,
Hello,
yeah.
Tony. Hello, everybody. I'm from Holland.
Right.
I'm from Holland, and you tell me you don't need to seek. You tell me there's
No, I
nothing.
didn't say that. I have never said you don't need to seek. I've only said all there is what's happening. And if seeking is happening, that's what's happening. If it isn't, it isn't. There's no
Yes.
need.
Well, I translate that as be in the moment.
Oh, do you?
Because
Well, that's also not what I'm
when you
saying.
say the only thing there is what's happening on this moment.
No, I didn't say that.
I understand. Oh.
All there is what's happening, not at this moment. This moment doesn't exist. There's no such thing being in this moment.
Oh, gosh.
There is no moment. All there is what is.
Oh, Tony, he's really pissed. He's really pissed off. Oh my God. I'm not wrong when he has said there is no seeking. There is nobody seeking anything. I am sure he has said that. I'm not going to rewind myself and torture myself with this nonsense. But my God, Tony is so cringe.
There's nothing.
Poor Sylvia.
I try to meditate. I don't have the illusion to get enlightened.
Okay, good.
All my life. But I'm looking, seeking. What's the best path to go? When you say there is nothing, there's nothing to experience, there's no awareness. What is the best path?
There is no path. There's no path.
There's no path. No.
There's no path because
he was totally pissed that she laughed at him. He was not happy. I want us to go back and watch the flash of anger.
There's nothing to experience. There's no awareness. What is the best path?
There is no path. There's no path because
look at
there's
that.
No path. No.
There's no path because there's no way to go. Already, this is all there is.
Then let's try it this way. What's the best attitude?
There is no best attitude. There's nothing that can be done. Situation for you as an individual is totally and utterly hopeless. There's nothing that can be done because there's nothing that needs to be done. Already, what is what is. It's very simple and very natural.
I know, I just want to punch this guy in the face. I mean, he's so rude. Like, I mean, That he didn't have to like speak to her in that manner. That was real rude. Ah, she's trying to best understand the message. This is actually probably the most helpful video someone can watch on why pseudo-non-duality is not simple and not natural. This title, the video should be "This is not simple and natural," because if it was simple and natural, people would have grasped it. They're not grasping it. Yeah, it is passive aggressive Advaita. It really is a Parson Advaita. I like that. He is creating his own stream of thought. But let's see if Sylvia lasts a bit longer.
But I sleep, my body sleeps, I stand up in the morning, I make plans, I go from A to B. I can't influence that, you say? That's what you say?
You're not doing any of that. That's what's happening. You're not doing it. You believe you are doing it. That's the dream. That's the dualistic dream. I can take action. I have free will and choice. I stand up. I go to bed. That's a dream. The dream of you being a real person taking real action.
Yeah. But do you understand that I try to understand? Yeah. I'm busy.
You understand that I try to understand.
Oh, yeah. But I've already told you there's nothing to understand. But then that's understanding as well, of course.
So what is the best to do? What do you recommend?
There isn't the best to do. There's nothing that can be done, and there's no one that can do it. Already, this is all there is. This is the nothing apparently happening. That there, that's talking to this and asking what it can be done, is what's apparently happening. But you're not doing it, it's what's apparently happening. It has no meaning or purpose of any kind.
No. But let's take this moment. There
is no moment.
But you have made plans to speak today, didn't you?
No, I haven't made plans to speak today, but plans for speaking today have apparently happened.
It happened.
I don't do anything. There isn't anybody to do anything.
I try to experience what you say. Maybe that's the best. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Whoa, that was intense. He didn't have an answer for her. She raised a very good question. He couldn't give her a straight answer. And that's why this is probably the only video a Neo-Advaita needs to watch to see why your philosophy is dumb as hell. Because why would you hold a meeting? You can't just turn around and say the meeting apparently happened. That is not a good answer. You planned this. Obviously you did because you sat there. Otherwise, why would you be there? Of course you planned it. This is just totally wrong on every level.
Okay, we have Sahara.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Do you like to unmute yourself, Sahara?
Yeah, working on it.
I'd like to see Sahara because I spoke to her.
I've made her. I've given her.
Hang on, I'm trying to get the video. Okay, there we are. Hi, Tony.
Hi,
hang on.
What does he need the video on if there's nobody there? Tony, come on, man.
Can't see you at the moment. Where are you? Where have you gone?
The camera's on, the video.
Right, there we are.
Oh, there we are.
Here
Hello.
we are. Okay.
Hello.
Hiya. So you said something earlier that triggered a question here about DNA programming preferences. And
I mentioned DNA. I don't know about
yes.
in the DNA preferences arise.
Okay, so that makes me wonder, because the impression that I've received is that
Sylvia, get to the point.
that everything we see is an appearance.
Yeah.
That even
I'm not getting mad at Sylvia. What she's trying to do is formulate a question so Tony doesn't get annoyed, or doesn't catch her out with the semantics of her question. So I think that's what she's trying to do. But you see how that is not a good thing? Like, someone should be able to ask a question freely, but she's not able to. Poor Sylvia. So I wasn't getting angry at Sylvia. I was just like, get to the point, meaning I know you can get to your question quicker.
people are an appearance and not a reality, then
there is no real. There is nothing that's real, including preferences.
Where does DNA come in?
It just arises. It's a part of the appearance. DNA is one that's arising at DNA.
What the fuck? What the hell is he saying?
It's an apparent story. The whole story is only an apparent story. It's not real. And in that story, DNA arises and has an influence on the apparent child that's born.
Okay.
Yeah, don't bother Sylvia.
Absolutely clear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, and thank you.
And you. Lots of love, Tony.
And you.
Okay.
I'm going to see if we can find Open Circle again.
Awareness.
I don't know how you can do that.
Oh, okay. Maybe you should watch this one, because it seems that he gets annoyed.
Good to see you, Tony.
And you?
I didn't want to do the whole video, but this is kind of entertaining for me, because just seeing Tony get annoyed at like anything that someone says and then answer something and totally confuse them, and they're like, okay, I'm just going to end it here because I don't want to confuse myself even more, is even more hilarious. But let's see how he does now.
I have just one question. If I skip the I am from awareness,
right,
and just be awareness.
No, awareness can only be if there's a sense of individuality, a sense of self.
But I am aware. I am aware. If I'm aware at this moment from you, but if I forget I am and don't couple it to the personality, then I'm just experiencing awareness.
Oh, well, if you believe that, that's fine.
Sorry, that's my question to you.
Oh, no, the question is, there is no awareness except in the dualistic world. And the awareness is married to the sense of individuality. I am a real person, and I'm aware of sitting on a seat.
But if I forget I am, and just be awareness.
I don't know how you can do that. Let's go jump further. If there is no I, if the illusion of the I separately is no more, then awareness is also no more. Because awareness can only function within dualism.
No.
Awareness is that which works in two. It has to have dualism for it to be aware.
Yeah, I find it difficult to believe because at this moment, if I look at you and I talk to me, I'm aware of you. And there's
you
no
might
me.
be aware of me. I'm not aware of you because there's no one here and there's no awareness. All this is what.
But if we get I am, there's just awareness.
If you believe that, give it a go.
I'm trying to find out. But,
that's based on the implication that you have a choice.
Oh, just awareness. It's no choice.
No,
it's there.
You just said you're going to get rid of the I.
No.
Who's going to choose to do that?
If I wake up in the morning, if I sleep, I'm aware of my dreams. If there's nothing, I'm aware of nothingness. If somebody calls at my door, I'm aware of somebody else. And at that moment, I disappear because I am aware of something else. So Hans is not there. I am aware of something else. So there's always something like awareness. But
for you, there is. That's what you believe. Yes. That's your experience.
Oops. I try to figure it out.
So, okay, I got a feeling that even teachers like Rupert and Francis Lucille and anyone else has probably annoyed Tony because they are clearing concepts about awareness, and that's probably not doing good for his business, because this very wonderful man, Hans, has given a very great explanation and has totally explained what awareness is. And what I really liked, he originally said that when that awareness is when it's decoupled from the personality, that there is this non-dual awareness, which is absolutely true. And Tony couldn't comprehend that. Tony could not even understand it. And that's why I say Tony's the lowest class of a teacher, of a spiritual teacher, the lowest class. I mean, like, for example, I could get angry at Emerson, I could get angry at Ken or Theo or Ariana or Anna or whoever. But at the end of the day, they are only reflections of this Tony Parsons. So, Tony is really bad. Hans has caught him out. Or they say it's okay, it's all clear, but deep inside they're more confused than before. Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't bother.
Okay.
Thank you.
So again, he said I wouldn't even bother. So this also tells me how Tony really doesn't care. Tony's just all about the money. Because he's probably collecting money for this meeting. I don't think it's free. And we will check to just ensure that we're not giving the wrong information here. So we will check whether he's charging. But yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, Silky Wensky, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hi, Tony. I wanted to. Hello. Hi.
She looks like she's going to be a non-dual teacher in a couple of months, maybe weeks.
I want to. What's coming up in me right now is a sentence about contraction, that I keep contracting in my day-to-day life. So things are happening and different things I have resistance to, and then my energy starts to contract and I feel separated through this contraction.
Well, the individual is always separate, of course.
Yeah.
But the contraction is a sense of being an individual in here and the world being out there, and so there's a sense of being being in something that's happening to you that makes you feel separate, and contraction arises out of that, or can arise before that even happens.
Because
boundless energy in the form of contraction.
Yeah, boundless energy in the form of contraction. But then I have the experience, especially when I start contracting, that in a way I feel more separated than before, because
What do they mean by contracting? It sounds really weird.
Like things are happening that I have a judgment about, that I don't like, for example. So
So that's what's happening. All there
That's
is
what's
what's
happening.
happening.
So that includes everything,
Of
all
course.
the resistances, everything that
Yeah,
includes.
totally. Yeah.
So
That
in a
is-
way,
That
there
is
is.
oneness being everything.
So,
That's all
and
there is.
it's an illusion that I think I have any will over anything.
Totally. Well, you don't have there isn't even an I. There is no one. But what you're reporting to me is what seems to be happening to an individual. That's your.
He's totally deluded. Let me see if we can get to. Okay, so I think Ryan's going to come back. Here we are. We'll forward a bit because there's so much to go through.
Enlightened as long as they're there when it happens, which is ridiculous.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say hello and
No, it's lovely.
Get some energy going from speaking. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What weird. This is weird.
We've got Ryan again. Ryan, would you like to?
Yeah, Tony's
Here we
not
go.
happy once
There we
he
are.
saw his Ryan.
Hello again. What do you acknowledge the nervous system as a part?
Well, I acknowledge that it apparently exists. It's an appearance of nothing.
So in my experience, like I feel it now, whatever this thing is, this message, it's like you said, it's energetic. I can feel it. So I feel like you just see more clearly when the nervous system is in a state of balance. Would you agree with that?
No, because you don't see clearly. The individual doesn't see clearly. The individual sees separation. Well, then there is no one. There is nothing. There is no one that sees. There is just seeing that happens. And then that's clear.
Why is that
because there's
feedback?
nothing in the way of it. And I don't know what that noise is.
Is it possible for everyone to check that apart from Ryan and Tony and me, everybody is muted, please? Because there's a lot of interference coming through. Thank you.
Why can't they just mute it all and then?
Okay, Tony. Should be.
But the nervous system is just a physical apparatus in the body.
Because I feel like here for me, this body just there's a physical transformation that's happening.
There's an energy with that sound. Something is energetically happening. The nervous system of Tony Parsons and Ryan is really either contracting or becoming boundless, and that's what's creating that interference of noise, and that's the best way to explain that. Yeah, how can it be boundless and contracted at the very same time? Exactly.
Okay.
Where, like, I still would need glasses to an extent, but my vision, like my physical vision, is actually improving, like becoming more clear.
What the hell?
And as that.
Want to cure your blindness? Follow Neo Advaita and you'll be cured of your blindness, because apparently your vision will become a lot clearer. Tony transmitting uncompromising message over secret channel. I think that's what it is. That's Tony's reptilian signals that are transmitting, and he doesn't even know about it.
Happens. This message of everything is just happening and there's no one doing anything, and exactly what you say becomes not understood but felt.
Okay.
As yes, that feels true.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I'm with you. Yeah.
So
it's not a belief; it's a feeling. It's energetic.
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
So it's not a belief, it's a feeling, but can't a feeling be also made up then? Like, I'm just being devil's advocate here. I wouldn't have a problem with what he's saying if he didn't have such a silly premise to his teaching. But even if you say something is energetically happening or being felt, that still could be a belief that is being created by the mind. Even if you're saying that is what is aware that that is what is happening. Like, what is aware of that happening? That's what he doesn't explain very well. I was actually hoping that Open Circle, yeah, he's gonna be back. So
could you take if you could use your microphone rather than the headphones? Apparently, is that's causing the problem.
Sure, is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony.
No, that's fine. Well done.
Yeah, there's and I agree. It's an apparent, because I've had glimpses. In the glimpse, then you realize, okay, this was always like this, and it's like, right? It's a joke. It's a big.
It is a joke. It's the joke.
It's the joke, but then not that it comes back, but your perception shifts, and then all of a sudden you forget that, and then you're back in it.
Yeah.
You're back in the game, so to speak.
Yeah.
But in the game, the game of dualism, there's an apparent unwinding of like stuff, which is what the guy previously was discussing. I believe there's an unwinding of all the stuff of the individual, like unfelt emotions and things like that. And then, but it is just a game, but it has to, in my opinion, it has to be acknowledged. So for example, this message from me 2 years ago would not have been very helpful.
No. Well, it's not helpful now. It doesn't help anybody.
It is. It's helpful.
Well, I'm glad Tony agrees. Then can he stop? He should put all his videos and delete them off YouTube. In that case, I'm happy that he agrees with that.
Well, it's helping. I can feel stuff unwinding energetically, so it's helping the nerve. It's helping. Something's happening.
Yeah, that's all right.
So,
but there isn't any intention to help you because there's no you to help.
Another teacher on the way.
And there's no intention from me to do an unwinding. It is just happening, and it's good. It feels good. But yeah, everything is just happening, and it's good. I actually had a phone call with you during the week.
Oh yeah.
It was 30 seconds. I was working and we stopped at the garage to get some food, and I just called you, and I just said, it was again, this just happened, obviously. I just picked up the phone, I called you, you answered. I wasn't actually expecting you to answer, but you answered. And I just said, this is all just happening by itself, right? And then you said, yes, it's all just no thing apparently happening. And then I said, okay, thanks. And then that was it.
Good.
Phone call over. And then just the day continued.
Yeah.
So it's just cool. Like it's cool.
So why did he ask that question earlier?
It's beyond the mind.
It's stunning. Like, it's just stunning. It's bloody amazing. But it's simple and natural. It's totally simple, totally natural.
No, it isn't.
And doesn't need any words at all. All those explanations about this are simply explanations attempting to talk about something you can't explain or understand.
Yeah. I used to, like a couple of years ago or even like a year ago, I had this desire to share stuff about my journey and stuff like that. But as time has gone on, the desire to share, like even help people to an extent, has diminished.
Okay.
Even though it happened,
That's what's happening. Yeah.
You actually are able to, when you don't need to help anyone, you're able to help
Yeah.
much better because you're not invested. It's very, it's like
Tony's happy
I've heard someone else describe
he
it
hasn't
as
got
it's
a
like a
competitor
cold,
now.
there's a coldness to it in a way.
It's impersonal, but I don't see it as cold. I think it's unconditional love expressing itself.
Yeah, okay, maybe coldness is not the right word, but yeah, impersonal.
No, coldness is the right
Not
word.
cold.
It is cold.
Yes. Okay, brilliant. Thanks,
Lovely,
Ryan.
thank you. Lovely conversation. Thank you.
There's somebody called Nikki Peters who can't raise their hand. So I'm just going to ask you to unmute yourself, Nikki, and I'm going to see. I don't know whether I can. It's not giving me the option for some reason for you to give you a video. Have you got a video? Okay.
Oh, hey there.
Hi, Nikki.
Hey, Tony. Nice to see you. Earlier when you were speaking, kind of what clicked for me was that what I heard you say was that the entire form that we're living in is a dream, like everything.
It's an appearance.
Yeah. Dream is just the how it clicked for me, but that's quite
okay. That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that? Would you say that's
absolutely?
Okay.
It's really. It's not real, and it's not happening. It's only apparently happening. It's a dream.
Like a dream would, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a dream.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. That was great.
Okay.
He's so strange. He's so strange.
Rima.
A Rima again.
There we are again.
Hi, Tony.
Rima.
I'm here again.
Okay, that's okay.
Around you.
You're not really here again because there is no one.
What a creep. Like, first of all, I mean, I wonder whether that person called Open Secret who's moderating then replies back saying, be good, you're being naughty, I'm not going to put you back on unless you're going to make Tony look good. I wonder if that's what's happening. Probably not. That's conspiracy theories.
I'll still ask that question.
So has Rima just meditated and come back and has a question? It seems so.
The apparent individual, does it itself stops running around itself in circles?
Does it? Sorry, I didn't.
The apparent individual self, the non-existent or the illusory self, does it itself kind of stops running around in circles around itself and drops?
Well, it is no more. It's only an appearance, and then suddenly it isn't there anymore. It's apparently there, and then it isn't. There's no sense of individuality here that you're talking to.
Yes.
There was once a sense of being an individual called Tony Parsons.
How did it happen for you? Were you
I don't know,
ever...
it just happened. But it only apparently happened. When it happened, when the sense of there being an individual was no more, it was realised it never was there, so it didn't happen. It never happens. Nothing happens because there is only nothing happening.
Yeah, exactly, Rima. Get the message.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sundar.
That didn't really answer the question, but you know.
Unmute yourself again.
Okay, let's see what Sundar has to say.
Hi, Tony. Me again. Do you see me? Yeah. Tony, when the meing and being is happening, yeah, when the me is there, the contraction is felt. Yeah. What do you say if there is pressure, in the head, like the contraction. There is extreme pressure in the head.
Pressure,
like
pressure.
Something is,
okay.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if you have experienced something like this, where when the
No, that's your experience. You're describing your experience.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But the contraction in the...
He just asked if Tony had experienced it. That's all. It required just a simple answer. I've not experienced this. My God.
body. But there is no physical reason for me to experience this pressure in the body. There is just a pressure in my head.
Well, no, but that's what's happening. You're describing what's happening. I don't quite know where you're trying to get to with that. It's just what's happening. Don't make a thing of it.
Yeah, but this discomfort in the body, I cannot find any relief from this.
No, well, that's what's happening. Getting no relief from that pressure.
And how do you differentiate? Like, okay, there is nothing real, you said. In the dualistic world, nothing is real.
There isn't anything real at all. It doesn't matter whether it's dualistic or not. There is nothing that is real. Everything is an appearance.
How do you differentiate between fake and genuine?
In the
dualistic world.
not, there isn't, in the ordinary world, there's nothing that's real. Sorry, there's nothing that's real. Everything is an appearance. Fake and not fake is more to do with personality or an individual with some sort of intention, which I can sometimes intuitively know is fake.
Okay.
That's all.
And one more question. What is, according to you, what is the difference between dream and appearance?
None.
But when the lady before, she was asking about, she was saying dream, and then you corrected, no, it's an appearance.
No, I'm just not so keen on the word dream, but it's all right. It is a dream. You can call it a dream.
Again, Tony, just to speak on your level, I thought you had no personal preferences because there's nobody here, nobody giving the teaching, nobody spreading the message. You might want to stick to one hymn sheet. You can't just pick and choose. What is his definition of real then? Conrad, hello. I don't know. It's really hard to tell what his definition of real is. So his definition of real, from what I understand of what I've listened to so far, is basically nothing that apparently is happening it's basically energetic happening is what is real, from what I understand. He doesn't object to anyone that says something is energetic happening, which is interesting. So yeah. And that would be, Martin, that is exactly how they would that's exactly what they would do. If someone called and said they had cancer or something, he'd probably be like, it's not happening, or it's just what is happening and get over it.
I like appearance.
Everything is an appearance. In this appearance, the me,
which I can sometimes intuitively know is fake.
Okay.
That's all.
And one more question. What is, according to you, what is the difference between dream and appearance?
None. But when the lady before, she was asking about, she was saying dream, and then you corrected, no, it's an appearance. No, I'm just not so keen on the word dream, but it's all right. It is a dream. You can call it a dream. I like appearance.
Everything is an appearance. In this appearance,
he didn't like being interrupted there. I was just going back to see his facial expression.
The me arising is everything happening to me. So this is what you call as dream. The dream of being an individual in appearance.
Oh,
does it make sense?
You can call it dream if you want to. I don't mind.
And when this dream collapses, the individual collapses, and you said there is no contraction in the body, the contraction dissipated, like there's nothing here.
And it never was there. It was only an appearance.
Never was. Yeah.
Just like the pressure in your body isn't real, it's just an appearance. But by you trying to do something about it, you make it real. It's like enlightenment or awakening. The seeker tries to make awakening or enlightenment, although there is no such thing, real. There is nothing that's real. But while I try to make it real, the seeker turns it into an object that it wants. That's why all seeking is totally futile, because all seeking objectifies that which is longed for, but that which is already all there is.
The seeking energy is not here, Tony.
He's such a, honestly, non-dual massage. I think Tony would like to massage people from the facial expressions he's making. But Conrad, there you go. He says nothing is real. So that's exactly what he thinks, I think.
Since our meeting, since I heard your person, the seeking energy is gone. There is nothing to seek here. But there is.
I'm sorry, that's fake. I've just recognized something fake. There is seeking energy there. There is seeking energy there.
Yes, there is a seeking of relief.
I sense that there's seeking. Oh, right, okay.
There is a seeking of relief. Like what I said, there is.
What a judgmental piece of crap is Tony Parsons. Like, I just can't believe he called the guy fake for asking him a question. That's not cool, Tony. That's not cool. That was completely egoic, the way he just reacted to Sundar's question or query.
There is a compression or a contraction.
Well, that's the same thing. But there's a seeking of relief from a pressure. Yeah. There's seeking. Seeking isn't only to do with finding God. Seeking could be seeking money or seeking a lover or seeking whatever. It's all about bringing to the me an experience that it wants.
So if Tony ever needs to go to the toilet, sorry to use such a bad example, but say he has diarrhea, will he not be seeking a toilet? Or will he just take a dump anywhere? Like, for him to say there's no seeking ever happening is such a dumb thing to say. It holds no ground in reality. Or in common sense. Which is why I use such a crude example, because it deserves a crude example for such a crude philosophy or message.
It's called seeking.
So what you're saying is, if there is no seeking energy, there won't be any effort to seek relief. That it's what is happening. Even
when there is no one, then pressure in the body is just something that's happening. But there might be something that's done about that pressure. If there is no one and a headache arises in the body, it's possible that the body will go and take an aspirin. Cool. But there isn't anybody doing that.
What? What?
So what you're saying, what I heard is, it's the same seeking energy taking different forms, seeking relief or seeking enlightenment.
In the end, it's all seeking freedom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
so
Ryan.
There's just so much wrong with what he's saying. Let's see if Sundar appears again. Or our friend Vance.
Okay. Which isn't really. It's very ordinary and simple.
That is true. So I have a couple of questions. So I've been experiencing a lot of thoughts recently that are particularly intense.
Well, there's no thoughts, Jake. I was trying to see if there was. So Hans doesn't come on again. So let's see. Oh,
absolutely. Thank you.
Sahara Desert. I thought her name was Sylvia.
Sundar. Do you want to come back in again?
Yes. Hi, Tony.
Hiya.
Just following up on what I spoke earlier, there was a seeking energy which was going towards enlightenment, liberation, all these things. But after I heard the open secret message, that went off. I mean, the seeking for something went off, but the energy of seeking still remained, like you said earlier. But after even Ryan said, what I'm understanding is maybe because this seeking energy, it's not being allowed to express, it is creating a pressure in the body. Yeah, I just wanted to hear what you would like to say about that.
But who's going to allow it? There isn't anyone, there's no choice. What's happening is pressure in the body. That's what's happening. There isn't anybody that can do anything about it. Just see that that's what's happening. That's
but then
there aren't any enemies, There aren't any enemies. It's not the enemy coming to pressurize your body. It's the beloved in that form.
Yeah. But the sense of seeking is also beloved, right?
Of course, there isn't anything that isn't the beloved.
So then why are you so against seeking then?
It's all pure love. It's just love.
Intense love, huh? Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Sundar, I agree with you, Dimitri. He should go back to the traditional teachings. I'm not going to carry on more with listening to Tony because he kind of is. It's already too much for me. So, a few thoughts. Yeah, there's a beloved apparently, which is interesting. For him, he picks and chooses when there is something to utilize. So, in the very last sentence in there where he said that even the beloved is seeking, well, then that means there is seeking happening. So if there is seeking happening, then that's fine. Why are we against that? So I think, yeah, he really is confused about his messaging. As he's got older, he's I don't know if it's age or it's now the tiredness that comes from expressing such a message all the time. So I wanted to or this person apparently wants to I want to look at his website. The open secret. Here we go. And let me share it with you because I think that would be much more interesting. Here we go. So you probably can't see that well, but let me. Okay. Let me do that. Oh, the other way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Zoom meetings. So it doesn't say what they are, but I guess he must do free Zoom meetings then, which is kind of okay. So please note that recording of weekends with Tony will only be available to event participants. Okay, and then it seems like he's starting to do sessions again. So Oh, but he's cancelled a few in May and June. And then did the Zoom meeting, and yeah, interesting. So, as you can see from there, good old Tony isn't doing much more. The Advaita police. I feel no love from Tony. He's judgmental, irritable, grumpy old fart. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel that he is miserable and completely. He doesn't. So my reasons for doing these videos is really to find another way of expressing the traditional teachings and showing why such teachings that are shared by teachers like Tony Parsons, Jim Newman, and the rest of the pseudo-non-dual people is just to show you that there is an alternative that is much stronger and has a stronger foundation. And therefore, if you go to that, you'll find that there will be a natural end to your seeking rather than forcefully ending seeking, which may have more of a detrimental effect later on. So it's not bad to be a seeker, in my opinion. I think having the attitude of seeking is what makes us remain humble. And I think from that video, you see how arrogance can come up, how, being angry if someone doesn't understand what you're saying. If it's, he called it's natural and simple, but it was anything but that, in my opinion. It was totally not simple. And I don't think there's anything natural about it. What happens is that when somebody tells you there's no seeking, nobody there to seek, there's nothing to seek, what happens is there's this false feeling that, oh, if I don't need to seek, that means I'm already here. And if I'm already here, then that's it. It's the end. And you feel free, maybe momentarily, but that freedom is not real because you've not really addressed what is it that has ended the seeking. What is it that is aware that there is seeking happening in the first place? And then what is aware that seeking has ended? And then what is it that is aware that you're simply, or to use the words of Tony Parsons, that nothing is happening, or everything is apparently happening, or whatever they use, or nothing apparently is happening. What is aware of all that? So, yeah, I think it's very important to raise the questions that we do, and again, just to re-emphasize that there are so many people giving this type of message out there that my one video is not enough, if I'm honest. It's literally a drop in the ocean because these pseudo-non-dualists are creating a video left, right, and center. Like every day they have a new video up. And that's why it's so difficult to sometimes, I upload a video once a week or twice a week on these matters. These people more or less do a live stream every day. They have time to do that. I frankly don't. I have a day job, and 2, I have a family, and 3, I have a podcast, and 4, I would like to chat to other people, and and also spend time reading, doing seeking. So it's very difficult to tackle such people when it literally is like I feel like it's a one-man army against an actual massive army. I only criticize him because there is no tone. If there is no Tony, who would mind? It's just what is at the end of the day. Yeah, it's not simple, but not complex either. Just an absolute and utter nonsense. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is, and I'm completely on board with that recognition. So yeah, I mean, so let me give my conclusive thoughts about Tony. So one, I feel that he's very bitter about the growing number of non-dual teachers on YouTube, and he's not happy about them because he feels that they're giving how-tos, they're giving people hope. So what he's giving is really a hopeless message. And in a way, all these non-dual speakers are doing the same thing. They're all saying they're giving a hopeless message. So it's really interesting how he differentiates himself to others. He's the pioneer of this. If there's anyone that started Neo Advaita, it's him, or who's made it popular. And by doing so, he's started this massive trend that we see today. And because of this trend, it has a disastrous effect. Because yes, someone can turn around and say, well, when someone realizes the futility of ego advaita or pseudo-non-duality, that then they'll come across my videos. But it may be too late, because I think they will utterly give up. I do not see a positive end to that journey that someone will take in pseudo-non-duality. I think it's rare for someone to come out of that and be like, that's utter BS and I want to go to the traditional route. I think they will just feel tired and exhausted. And which is why I speak up against it more. And I think Tony is a classic example from seeing today. The way he responded to people was so rude. Like other people, like the only person I felt the same feeling towards, like who gave the same type of energy, was actually Anna Brown. She gives off the same energy where it's condescending and very passive aggressive. And I felt the same from her. So it's interesting. They're both, to be honest, I think Tony might be a nice person at home. He might be a nice individual. I don't know what he's like outside of these meetings or anything like that. But all I can talk about is the teaching and what it does and what it can achieve. And it's zero. So that's what I felt. So my thoughts are, he doesn't really answer the questions. He's a bit like Sadhguru. Doesn't listen to the questions. He rather judges the person or assumes things about the person and then gives a judgment, and therefore it's not true. And then belittles a person. I felt that from him. But yeah, so those are my few words of insight into this this phenomena called Tony Parsons. But yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream now. But it was really funny. Some parts of it just really made me laugh, and I think as much as I'm serious about this stuff, I also look for comedy, and that's why I find it funny at times. But even if I find it funny, that doesn't mean that I am making it less important in my eyes. I am probably, if I'm laughing, it could imply also that I'm finding this absolutely silly and I'm really feeling for the person that's asked the question. And or I find it funny that then there's no answer being given and people are looking for an answer to someone who doesn't want to give an answer. Like, how stupid is the seeker as well for asking the question to someone who's saying there's no meeting happening, or I didn't even arrange this meeting. Things like that should be a red flag for people. But if they don't see the red flag, that's also such a big shame. And that also shows, remember, I always emphasize this, and it's so important. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna talks about how important it is to have discernment, to have vivek. And this is literally the reason why. It's to discern between the crap and what's true and real and changeless, which is this ultimate reality. And to do that, you need to work on it, you need to seek it, you need to really go for it. But yeah, but we're also here to have a laugh, we're also here to have a good time, and learn along the way. So it's all good, it's all good. But my heart does go out to those people. But to be honest, I don't know who the bigger fool is, Tony or those people that ask him the questions, so it's really, I don't know, what I think about that. Thank you, Martin, for attending. Thank you. And yeah, I always look left and right when I'm crossing over the road. In fact, this Sunday we were walking, and I was teaching my little niece to look left and right as well. So I'm definitely not giving her the advice Theo gave to his friend. So yeah, Brown just appropriated Tony mannerisms. Definitely. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. I may be back tomorrow, maybe back on Thursday or Friday. Not Friday, but maybe on Wednesday, tomorrow or Thursday. I'll try and come back on. But yeah, it's wonderful being here. Thank you for watching and listening. And we'll be looking at a video of Swami Silvabrinanda when I come back on. So when I do the next one. So I shall see you then. Take care. Bye.